Afternoon, all the participants and director of the webinar, Professor Srinivasa Raghavan sir, and the convener, Dr. Mrs. Kalpana Chandrasekhar, and the participants of the webinar. Very good afternoon to all of you. It's a great pleasure for me and glad to introduce one of my senior colleagues, Mr. S. Ketheeswaran. He is presently working as Senior Assistant Librarian, Grade 1 at this library, University of Jaffna, Sri Lanka. He specialized in the field of physics at the same university and performed exceptionally well in both studies and sports during his period. He was the first international student at the Department of Library and Information Science of Bharathidasan University and now reading his PhD at University of Colombo, Sri Lanka. He has published several research articles and 20 conference presentations. He contributed as consultant at 3 national level projects and 25 regional level projects. He contributed as a resource person for more than 90 programs. He has been tirelessly serving the library community and the society as an eminent LIS professional. He was instrumental in establishing the digital library and institutional repository of the library, University of Jaffna. He automated several public libraries in Sri Lanka using Koha software. I cordially invite Mr. Ketheeswaran to deliver his address on cooperative knowledge access. Very interesting topic for this time, during this time of COVID situation. It is related with the union catalog, like union catalog it is going to be. So I warmly welcome him to deliver his speech to the audience, and I hand over the podium to him. Thank you very much.
Just observe the presentation.
Justine Paikotike, the resource person.
Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, audible.
Okay. Thank you, Navanithan, for the introduction of speaker, myself. Dear participants, Professor Srinivasa Raghavan, the director, Dr. Kalpana Chandrasekhar, the convener, and my dear coordinators, good morning to you all. With my deepest tribute, I dedicate my small speech to the former librarian, late Srikanta Lakshmi Arulanandam Sivanesan. My presentation mainly focuses on the LIS professionals as well as the students in the same field. Let me share my PPT. Please let me share the PPT. Is it visible? Is it visible? Yeah. This is the title, the Cooperative Knowledge Access. Yes, as you know, this is a technical session 10 of day 5, the international webinar on knowledge access and sharing, tools and technologies for higher academic research. So what are the things I am planning to cover? So I am going to discuss about developing a cooperative culture in knowledge access that is centralized or cooperative metadata service. For this, I would like to introduce first few concepts regarding same, and what is the problem we have for the development, and how to develop the system, what are the steps we need to take in, and what are the benefits by having this development, and how we can clear the backlogs while we are thinking about this cooperative culture in knowledge access. So I would like to introduce a few concepts regarding the same. So we are working in the knowledge system. The webinar also taking steps on this same concept. So yeah, we can identify two different knowledges, tacit knowledge, explicit knowledge. The tacit knowledge is inaccessible. We can't probe the knowledge directly. Whereas the explicit knowledge, we can access or search by having certain tools. So here, if we want to, we have this cycle between these knowledge. From tacit to explicit, we need to do some externalization. That is the right side. At the same time, if you want to empower the tacit knowledge, we have to internalize the explicit knowledge by processing certain concepts and ideas. So whatever the work we involve here, we are restricted with certain guidelines. So so in the next slide, I will show the guidelines. First of all, I will take the externalization work. Here, this is the externalization, that is tacit knowledge to explicit knowledge. Here, I have mentioned two different activities which can transfer the tacit knowledge to explicit. So whereas we have certain guidelines. So here one man is preparing something that is at the bottom, and the top there is a verbal communication. So we have for both we have certain rules. So we should obey. So having these rules, we can externalize the tacit knowledge into explicit knowledge. So tacit knowledge is basically the personalized knowledge that is the personalized knowledge that the people gains through participation and experience. And the explicit knowledge, somehow the tacit power can be articulated, organized, and shared. Here, one author is participating in a research activity by getting certain explicit knowledge, is processing the knowledge and participating and getting experience. After getting experience, he articulates his tacit power into quotes. So that is the articulating he has to write in a cooperative culture. He can't himself write without obeying any rules. So he has to obey certain rules and articulate in a cooperative culture. So he is publishing a paper. We can take an example. So he is trying to externalize his tacit power to be explicit. So here the top and another example. Here we are now participating in the webinar. It is also one of the communication that is building tacit knowledge to explicit knowledge. It's also should be in a cooperative interaction. So we should have certain rules and regulations by conducting this webinar or conference. So this way we empower we build the tacit knowledge, build the explicit knowledge from the tacit power. So at the same time, I move to the next slide where I will tell about the other half circle that is from explicit to tacit. So what is this? Explicit is sometimes we can provide an example, the monograph and research paper, we can take as an example for explicit knowledge. Yes, that's true. So we have to process the explicit knowledge into tacit. So how we can do this? Here I provide some example. So we are now in the process of internalizing the knowledge from explicit to tacit. So here the top part, access by update. The bottom part, access by focus. here in the internalization is the main role by the library service. So we are working in the internalization process. So in the top part that we are providing the current awareness service. So we usually do some numerable display and listing of title. It may be current awareness. Yes, this is a current awareness service, so current access and list. Here, fortunately, we don't have any much restriction or rules to be followed for providing this service, the top. Whereas the bottom part, we have certain rules that should be strictly followed in a cooperative culture. So what are those? In the library service, we are providing 3 different services: alerting, browsing, and searching. So what is alerting? Alerting, that is the classified dissemination. We call it as selective dissemination of information. So we can simply tell it as classified dissemination, where we find certain people in a classified group and we provide alerts. And second is the browsing. Here also we should have some classified arrangement. The browsing may be found in 2 places. So browsing is we are organizing the books in the shelves in an order, the classified order. So for providing better browsing service, we are arranging. At the same time, using the using search engines, we can provide the browsing facility. So in two methods, we can provide this browsing service. And the last one is the searching service is the best service we are providing for the readers. So if we want to provide the searching service, we should index certain statements, some focusing element for the information resources. So by having the index only, we can provide the searching service. So blindly we can't do these services. We should obey certain policies, protocols, and rules. What are those? Here I have mentioned the red color, certain rules. So while obeying these certain rules, it is called as the control, the authority behavior control. Where we can have this authority behavior control in a cooperative culture, not in an individual culture. In a cooperative culture only, we can have this authority and bibliography control. So for this, we have certain standards. Everyone should know it. That mark this machine readable catalog. And this is the communication standard 9.50. Yeah, and the bottom line, this is for the description of the resources, the resource description and access, and other 2 are regarding classification, Library Congress classification, and DV decimal classification, and this is one Library Congress subject heading, and this is ASCR2. Here I would like to tell one interesting point here. We are now remembering our librarian Srikanta Lakshmi Aralanandam Sivanesan. She has contributed these guidelines in a regional level. I will cover this in the later slides. So I would like to move to the next slide. So where I can explain you regarding what is the control. What is authority control? Now we can understand that we have the many information resources. So we need to provide access for them in a systematic way. So how? So we have to find certain focusing elements. So how the people may find through focusing elements. So if people wants to identify some person, they will tell that height and color and all things they will talk about. So whenever we consider the information resources, we need to identify certain focusing elements. So we can identify some primary elements those are called as the authority elements that we provide. Primarily, we provide the authority control for those elements where the people focusing the information resources frequently or very dominantly. So what are those? The name of the creator. People come and search for name of the creator. So name of the creator may be personal name, corporate name, and meeting name. Whereas the subject of the name also people come and search. So it may be topical term, geographical name. So those are the subject of the resources. In another point, the uniform title, this is also people come and look at through the uniform title. So we make it as a very authoritative focus elements. So we are planning to control this authority. So these are the authority control. So then we need to have some facility. So where we go for the facility. So we find a facility. So the Mark 21 format for authority data is a facility. These are readily available. So it provides platform for this authority control. So I'll show in the next slide. What is this? I have checked this the personal name example. So this is an interface. This is a portion of interface I have captured. This is the build for Mark 21 format for the regional use in northern Sri Lanka. So here I take the portion that is for the main entry author. Okay, we are now thinking about how we can do the authority control. So we have this interface. Yes, that's true. Here we can't freely enter the data into the system. So we have to search and copies from somewhere. So here this is locked. So we are now planning to put some author name here. So it is restricted. So we can, by clicking this, we can have the searching interface. So then, as we had this restriction, the cooperative metadata service started evolving in support of the authority control. So I am going to tell about the cooperative metadata service. So why we are so concerned about this? Here, the authority data field, in a usual library system, more than 80 different Mark 21 fields that are indexed for the discovery using this authority data. So we have to be very careful for having the quality and mutual acceptance of the focusing elements that is covered in the authority data. Okay. So no problem. No problem. Okay, sorry. And in addition to this, we have in few Western countries, they follow the bibliography control as well. So yeah, in addition to the authority control, so we can follow the bibliography control. If you consider the bibliography control, what is it? So we may have various form of bibliography formats for different bibliographic materials. So Mark 21 provides this facility. So where we can have a title classification as control. So we can't openly type the title and class numbers. We have to copy those by searching from the metadata service. So that is the bibliography control. Why we should take this as is very important, because more than 100 Mark 25 field can be indexed for providing searching facility for the readers. So we have to be careful while feeding the data in the bibliographic framework. So I will move to the next slide and tell you what is the problem. What is the problem? Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you're audible. Yes, sir.
You're audible, but the slide is not there.
Slide, you need to ping, I think. You yourself, Pradiban, you have to ping in your desktop.
Okay.
Am I right? Am I right? I don't know.
Right, it's okay.
Okay. So what is the problem we have? So I have searched one resources from the 4 different public libraries. So we don't have the cooperative metadata service. Until now in the regional wise, we don't have any cooperative metadata service. So what I have made, I have searched for an author, that is today's Remember librarian led with Srikanta Lakshmi Arlanandan Sivanesa. So she has written many articles and books. So I have searched by using her part of personal name in 4 different public libraries. So don't worry about this script. It is in Scrabble language. You just look at the curve here and highlight it with the green, yellow. So this portion I have used as a search string and got the displays. So where we have certain problem. Here the typing mistake or spelling mistake. And there's a punctuational error. Here, yes, that is space is provided, it's not provided here. And full stop is missing. At the same time, we don't have the / punctuation here for dividing the statement of responsibility. This is the statement of responsibility. So at the same time, the statement of responsibility should reflect the documented name. The documented name was asked that this part should come and this part comes later. So it was the mistake. And in addition to this, the second display, we have some star mark here. So here they have used the other title information. It is the subtitle, other title information following the colon mark. So it is somewhat good. However, here we don't have the / for. We don't have the / for providing the statement of responsibility. And while considering the author mark, we don't have the comma here and full stop. So this is another punctuation error. So in addition to this, I will come to the next slide and I'll show you some more problems here. So here the title selection is wrong. Both display title selection is wrong. So it's a problem. And here they have not put the main entry for the author name. They have provided the main entry for only for the title. So we don't have we are unable to see this author name here. This is a problem. So how we can solve it? This is a problem. How we can solve it? I move to the next slide. So I am thinking about development. So we need to develop some regional level metadata service or cooperative culture in metadata knowledge access. Cooperative culture in knowledge access. So how we can build it? We can't violate the international guidelines. So we should be energized from internal wheel. So then we need to prepare the national level guidelines and regional level guidelines. So I have used the Spinning's wheel to explain this. Here, these all are this box, the left side box mentions the international guidelines. But others, the international guidelines that is given for us for following certain rules while we are providing the library service. Here, for the description, we use certain standard research description access. So I have already told you about this. So the framework. So we should have the certain framework for machine readable system. So the Mark 21 emerged. So Mark 21 helped or provided the basic platform for describing the catalog. So in addition to this, so we need to communicate from one system to another system. We need to have this facility. So we have the communication system. We call it as SAT39.Y0. That is the communication system. This is basically built for the FTP environment. So the people are moved. That is SYNC. That is, I think SAT39.50 international new generation or something. So after the web-centric environment, we have named this SAT-1350 communication protocol as SRU and SRW. So there are reasons for the naming. So I come to this the right box where we have the national level. Yes, the people are here wondering that my slide is visible or not. My presentation, is it visible or not?
Everything is visible. Go ahead.
Oh, Dr. Pradivan, you are. Okay, thank you. Okay. The right side. So, right side, this is for national level policies. So, I have changed the color here to the blue one. So, we have changed. So, the RDA, DDC, LC, SH, we have changed. It may be addition or updation. So we can't go for the deletion. So it will be problem for the communication. So we can't go for the deletions. So we can add, we can update the rule in certain level for regional use. So we need to have some amendments. So for this, for the DDC, I think our Remembrance Librarian late Srikanta Lakshmi Arlanandam, he has prepared, so he has provided the regional level guidelines extracted from the DDC. Many public libraries are using the same. In addition to this, regarding the subject classification, Library Congress subject heading, he is very expert in referring the Library Congress. I have found her always is browsing the Library Congress subject heading for all his work, all her work, and because she is very interested in this, because she did did her master's research in thesaurus, and in regional level also she has built one thesaurus for using, am I right, subject headings. So for the AACR2 also she has published one book. I think it will be, people are using in the northern region, but mainly by the public libraries. The book published by the librarian, late Srikanta Lakshmi Arlanandam. So in addition to this, the framework, we should have the regional or national level frameworks. So when considering this, you can see US mark, it is built by US, and UK mark, it is also built separately, but there are different protocols, the national level protocols for using the machine readable catalog. So in the same way, LK mark and IN mark can also be developed, or I don't know, it may be available, I don't know. From my understanding, it is not still available. And communication standard, we need not to bother about the communication standard. We don't breaks the system, the Mark 21 system. And the cooperative metadata service, we had to build. So already available, the Library Congress is providing cooperative metadata service, OCLC, providing metadata service. It is in the international scenario. It is in the international scenario. Somehow we can tell that is for the country which is mainly developing and maintaining the systems, the rules, international rules. So we can't completely adapt this metadata service for our regional or national collection. So here the OCLC also providing the support. It is very useful metadata service. So however, we need to pay for the subscription. Whereas the LC is providing free service, OCLC we need to subscribe for, I think, for a public library, they request, I think before 2 weeks I got a quotation, nearly $4,500 they are requesting for the cooperative metadata service facility. So I think for LKIN, we can think about, I don't know whether it is available or not. So I would like to move to the next slide. So then we have the development plan. So what are the steps we may take in this? So first of all, we need to draw a regional level protocols that may be updation or addition for the international guidelines. So we should have draw the regional level protocols. And we have to do the full level cataloging with control by providing control number. So we need to hire the expert at the centralized the cooperative level. So sometimes the National Library may take it to part. They need to hire the cataloging expert, and they need to do the full level cataloging for selected resources. And it should be assigned with the primary key, the control number. So the control number should be provided. So then what they have to do, the central agency should provide the control number for the national level publications with CIP, the cataloging in publications. So here the Library of Congress is providing the control number that is called as LC control number. You can find it in the title versus page for the publication published in the Western countries, Western countries cities. Okay. So yeah, we have developed the system. So now how we can apply, how we can utilize the libraries. So first we have to make some controlling system. Where we can do it is the library system. We have to do some, we have to make some restriction for the authority control. So after having the restriction, so having the control number that is provided with the CIP data, the library should be importing the metadata in the library system. It is well known practice copy catalog. Okay. So having this method, we can adapt the system for the libraries. So what are the benefits? I may tell here. Benefits, we have the exact match. So we will provide the exact delivery service for the material. So we will not have any problems in searching, and so we will provide the exact delivery. And no burden or repetition of data entry. So suppose one selected book, it is published 100 copies, 1,000 copies in nationwide. So the 1,000 copies will be distributed for 1,000 different libraries. So every library personnel, the expert, they will prepare the catalog in different catalogs. So it will be 100 times repetition. So if we can use the centralized system, so people can copy the data, send the no burden on repetition of data entry. It is possible, yes. And the expertise in preparing metadata will not be required at institutional level. So for individual library, expertise will not be required. So we are copying the data from the centralized system that is prepared by the experts. So we need not to worry about the expertise in the regional level. So layman can copy the catalog, the layman can prepare the catalog. So expertise will not be required in the institutional level. So what is full level cataloging? So many libraries, they go for the minimum level cataloging because due to some certain restrictions. So here the libraries, they can provide the full level cataloging because we are going to download the full level cataloging from the service. So the old libraries will be similar and same pattern of catalogs, so full level catalog. And yes, immediately having the book, we can, another point I am discussing, lesser time for processing. So immediately having the book, we can process the books and sell them. So we have the lesser time for processing. Am I right? Okay. And in addition to this, we will have successful bibliography communication. We should provide the cooperative and union gateways for the knowledge discovery. So this is the very good method for providing better discovery for the learning material. So by having this central metadata service, the bibliography communication will not be disturbed. So successful bibliography communication can be built for making cooperative and union gateways for knowledge discovery. So yeah, that we can have, so we are now okay that we can have a system or we can build a system. So what is the limitation we have? So we have already prepared catalogs for many resources we are having in the library. So that is the backlog. So we need to ensure the qualities for those prepared catalogs. So this is the very demanded work in this practice. So what is a best practice we can employ here? So this is the best method, I think. We have to identify the libraries having the demand, having huge national and regional collection. This is the first step. Because we have to find the libraries with a huge amount of collections, because the authority, I will come to the second line, the authority practice and the quality problem will be similar for the particular selected library. So we have to study these quality issues and authority practice that may be applied by the selected library. So having this idea, what is the deficiency in authority practice and qualities, so we need to convert the data for ensuring its quality and mutually. It should be done automatically. For having some mechanism, this is my current study. This should be accepted and should be accepted by the participating libraries in the cooperative culture. So we will accommodate in the metadata system. So it is not enough. We need to time update the updates for the libraries, and then the libraries can update the quality data. They can replace the older data with the newer data. So these are role I thought to discuss here. So what is my disclosure? So definitely the cooperative culture knowledge access will enrich the discovery of knowledge. That is true. And tremendous duplication effort can be avoided. And definitely, as we are now running the webinar team that is higher academic research, it will definitely support the literature discovery for the higher academic research. I believe it. So with this disclosure, I thank the participants, Professor Srinivasa Raghavan, the director, and Dr. Kalpana Chandrasekhar, the convener of this webinar, the coordinator and well-wishers of the webinar. Thank you so much. And this is the question time. If you can ask me the question, I will be happy that you have understood my small speech. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. For your presentation. It has been very informative, putting into mind that at the moment, all of us, the world over is going into knowledge management, simply because that we know that there's a lot of information overload, and we need to manage it. I think from your presentation, it was very insightful, and I really enjoyed it. You first of all started by talking about the type of knowledge which is tactic and explicit. That we know that we clearly say that tactic information is difficult to transfer, and they also talked about the explicit knowledge that I think it's easy to transmit, and that's what mainly we've been focusing about. We also talked about the internalization and externalization of the knowledge, which I think you well explained about it. And then the presenter has also talked about the theory control. We also mentioned about the development of metadata in a cooperative knowledge access, and also the various steps that are involved, which I think it is good for us librarians and also for us information providers at the moment, putting into mind that at the moment you need to control and manage all the knowledge that we have. Also, the presenter also mentioned about the benefits of cooperative knowledge access, of which I think is really been able to highlight most of the benefits, and I think it's really good and applicable into our current information system and services that we have right now. So on that, I think it will be good for me to invite the participants if you got any question, because from the chat box I've seen very many questions that people have been asking, and I think most probably it's better for us to open up the floor for questions and answers. Welcome.
Yes.
Welcome.
It was really a very nice and very excellent presentation, and we have learned something new from your presentation, really. That question is in line with the Sri Lankan context. Since we are a very small country, the centralized metadata system to implement this is very easy. Anyway, that my question is that how extend all of our universities or even the research institutions are following the unique and standardized system in the country? It has been a question. But if we implement the centralized metadata system to the nation, it is very easy and very convenient. And in future, it will be very useful and it will save the time of all the librarians. So what would be the solution and suggestions from your side as you are one of the experts in the country? Yes, sir.
I can build a system. I have already built a system. I am planning to move with the Tamil resources. But that is as this is my research component. So I have already built a system. I have tested. So I can, I will talk regarding the same in the National Library, and we will think how we can practice this in future.
Oh, yes. The main thing is in terms of the MARC format. There was a workshop organized by the National Library recently, I think, so even I did not attend for that, regarding the standardization of MARC, especially to Sri Lanka.
Yes.
I think I don't know how many of us who are in the group today participated to that. Even I was also not but the intention was to make a national standardized system in terms of MARC. So there was a but the case is, even suppose if in my university, what I am that maximum, most probably I can say the more than 90% of standards that we have been following in line with the international standard bibliographic description, and also that I have been following the OCLC standard at least, and in line with even the Library of Congress LC. So that I have been. The concern is even linked data and subject headings and linking mechanism, everything's as much as possible we have to follow it. The concern is if you have generalized systems, as you said, even you are also in the process of making that national based systems, that will be, of course, very useful. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Devi.
Any more questions?
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Giriswaran. Thanks for your excellent presentation. This is Ilangovan from IMT Business School, Dubai. Actually, you mentioned that in the OCLC, the price cost will be around 4,500 like that.
Yeah.
Is there any open access available equivalent to utilize, like most of the softwares, everything's available in open access? Is there any the same resource? Like not same resource, equal to same resource. It is available in the open access.
Yeah, we can't find like OCLC because it is from WorldCat. We may have the free access from Library of Congress and Ophir University, and but however the OCLC they don't provide free access. I have requested quotation for using the same in for certain public libraries. They quoted $4,500. However, the collections I have seen, I got trial access freely for 1 or 2 days. They have huge coverage for regional or national level publications that is published in English, not in other languages. So OCLC has good coverage. So that is was my intention.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions from participants? Then I think if there's any more questions, I think I'd like to thank the participants of today. That was Dr. Participants who from today, and I think for the good work that they've done, it's been very informative. And I think I'd like to take this juncture to the organizers. Back to you, Dr. Felgi.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Professor Otike, for moderating the session. On the very short span of period, you accept our invitation and moderating the sessions. Thank you very much for your generosity. Thank you, sir. Okay. On behalf of the organizing committee, I thank all the presenters, Dr. Shivaram sir and Dr. Ketishwaran sir for the wonderful and informative presentation. Special thanks to all the presenters and participants. Thank you one and all. Tomorrow we have 2 more sessions. The first session handled by Dr. Bhagavati. Yeah? Yes?
So, small announcement. Maybe tomorrow is a session. The time maybe it will change. So we'll communicate all the participants now.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Bala sir.
And also thanks to Mr. Ketishwaran and Dr. Zoram sir for an excellent presentation. Really, we enjoyed all the participants. Particularly, Mr. Ketishwaran is our alumni. Our first batch student, he initially he only installed the Sri Lanka. Most of the professors always proudly says like that. Really, thank you, Mr. Ketishwaran, for a nice and excellent presentation. Share your PowerPoint. And also thanks to Dr. Suram and Frederick, so just fully moderated. Thank you very much for all.